I decided I was going to do a video a little earlier than what I had planned because I had something that came to mind that I realized the other day. Um, when I was having a conversation with my husband, he said, even whenever you overcome depression, I don't want you to think that you can fix other people or that um, you can just make everyone else better, because if you do try to make someone else better and they don't, they don't overcome depression, then that can put you right back into depression. And that brought up a good point that I thought I would talk about because um, I'm naturally a fixer. It doesn't matter if it's depression or with whatever. Anytime something happens, if it's any type of inconvenience or any type of problem, I always want to find a way to fix it. And it's like I can't think about anything else until I fix that problem. And that's kind of what I'm dealing with my depression when it comes to how I feel crazy, I guess you could say, because I am like, I know what I want to do to become better. I mean, I have this notebook that I have this notebook that I write in, and it's a smaller notebook. Then I have a bigger notebook, and I have sticky notes, and so I write down all the time. Like, I have all these steps, and then sometimes I'm like, okay, but where do I start? And that's kind of driving myself crazy because and then that's where my anxiety comes into play, because I have these lists. I'm like, okay, I want to start here. I know I want to get to this point, but how am I going to get to this point? So I think that if you are the same way as me and you also are a fixer, then before you decide to, overcome depression, kind of think of, okay, take a deep breath. How am I going to cope with that? Because you don't want to aggravate yourself more and feel like you're not going to overcome depression because you don't know how to fix yourself immediately. And that's also another topic that I wanted to talk about, because I am also not a patient person. And so that kind of sucks with being a fixer and being impatient, because um, sometimes when you're impatient, period, of course, you don't want to wait for things to happen. And I'm trying to be as patient as I can with everything that I'm doing, because I'm like, okay, well, I'm taking this medicine. I'm almost been on it for 6 weeks, and I want to feel better now. Like, I'm counting down the days until it's my 6 week mark, because I want to be like, okay, on this day do I feel better? Um, and a lot of people, that's why they give up on their medication or their therapist. I'm in that situation too, where um, I think I want to look for a new therapist or just go to a psychiatrist, because my OB, even though she is amazing, she's not a psychiatrist or a therapist. So she can prescribe me medicine, but as far as knowing about the dose, we're kind of struggling with that right now. And my therapist she can't prescribe anything to me, but I'm getting to the point where I'm becoming a little impatient with her. And I know a lot of people have that. So just with some research that I did on being impatient whenever you suffer from depression, is just reevaluate what makes you impatient. So if it is your therapist, and don't, instead of being negative and saying, oh well, a therapist didn't work for me, the one I had, so I'm not going to go back to my therapist, or therapy did not work for me. Instead, say, this therapist did not work for me, but I'm going to look into another therapist. And that's just an example of what I'm going to do is look for another therapist. Whenever you become patient, tell yourself that you can get through this, that it's just a phase. Find something in your surrounding to take your, to concentrate on, even if it's like a bird outside or something, just to break your concentration of being impatient. And then watch your self-talk, because your self-talk is very important, especially when you're becoming impatient with your depression. Just because you're impatient or you don't feel like, your pills are working, if you don't feel like your dose is working, instead of just saying your medicine doesn't work, then talk to your doctor about it. Don't just stop taking your medicine. with self-talk, what we're doing, and what I mentioned to my kids earlier that I wanted to do is with the sticky notes, I'm going to have them do it as well, put positive things. Amir wants to put one on there saying that I'm thankful for you, so that whoever sees that sticky note, wherever we decide to put it, then they're going to see, okay, I'm thankful, whoever put this here, they're thankful for me. And I'm going to put some on the mirrors as well, because it's really easy for me for a good day to be turned into a bad day. So I feel like if there's positive notes in the house, then it'll kind of be a reminder to keep a positive mindset. Then just, which I'm not really going to talk about it much today, but my husband did let me borrow this book. It's Recovery by Russell Brand. And no, I'm not a drug addict or anything. The only thing I'm addicted to is coffee, because caffeine actually is one of the things that puts me in a better mood. So I'm not going to lie and say I'm not becoming addicted to caffeine more than I was before, because I definitely am, since that brings my mood up, like it brightens my mood. But these the 12 steps in here will actually work towards depression as well. And on step 1, the first part in there is like, do I have a problem, and what do I want to change? So I made my list of the things that I want to change, and I'm just focusing on that right now, which I knew what I wanted to change, because because of my insecurities, I'm paranoid about a lot of things. I worry about things that I have absolutely no control of, or because I'm a fixer, I worry about things until I can fix them. And then with depression, a lot of times I feel like I'm unwanted, even though in reality I know that I am cared about. It's just sometimes my depression takes over, and that's just how it makes me feel. So for those 3 things, that's just what I'm going to focus on now, as far as what do I want to change, because I feel like that's a small step. Those are a few small tasks for me. But I'll speak on that more when I do another video. And then I came across a picture today on Instagram, and it was talking about the mental health red flags. So if you're a person that that doesn't know if you're suffering from depression, it's excessive worry, fear, or sadness, avoiding social activities, having more good days than bad, the overuse of alcohol or drugs to cope, thinking about suicide, confused thinking, like trouble concentrating, difficulty perceiving reality, random pains and aches, inability to handle daily activity, changes in their sleep patterns, prolonged feelings of irritability, and signs of significant sadness. So like what I said in my first video, I kind of did an assessment like this when I was in the hospital, and that's where they were like, you need to talk to somebody, you need to get on medication, because I scored a little higher. And I do, out of these 10, wait, let me see. Out of these 12, I have 9 out of the 12. And so if you're someone that, if you think about that and you don't know if you have depression, or if you're not sure if you struggle with a mental illness, then definitely tell someone about that. The one other thing I forgot to say is when it comes to being a fixer, if you are a fixer and you don't suffer from depression, but someone suffers from depression, there's a huge difference between being a fixer and being a supporter. Don't get mad if the person, if your husband, wife, sister, if they vent to you and you listen to them. Don't get mad at them if they don't get better because you gave them advice and their advice doesn't fix the problem, because that's just going to make them worse. Just be their supporter and let them know that you are there for them, rather than just getting angry with them because your solution didn't work for them, because it's not how it goes. So that's all I have for today. So if If you don't have me on Instagram, it's Courtney LM. I have now uploaded all my videos to YouTube. And feel free to share my videos.